How to Be Creative by Hugh MacLeod. The first step I chose was step 7, or also known as the sex and cash theory. This was a very interesting theory to me because when you have a creative idea, you have to think as a sexy job, something that you want to do, and a cash job. A different job helps pay the bills. You have two different jobs that you have to balance, one that you want to do and one that you have to do to help pay the bills. This allows you to make a good living while still maintaining your creative sovereignty. An example of this in the writing is a young writer waits tables to pay the bills, but still dreams one day that their writing will help the intensity of the different job. I feel this is something that would be very helpful, especially to me. I've always kind of thought of that I could just, quit my one job and just focus on my creative ideas. But honestly, after reading it, I realized that that's not the way to go. Another theory that I chose was number 9. We all have our own personal Mount Everests to climb, and part of the reading was that hell is admitting you have one. I'll also admit I've had trouble with this at times. Just looking at it as, I can just worry about it later. I need to focus on this or that. But in fact, if you keep pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back, how the reading explained it, one day we'd be on our deathbed wishing we had climbed it. So, long story short, either deny it and move on or start climbing, which the reading basically said. And again, I feel as if that would be something that would be very vital to me, because I'd not be regretting not climbing my own personal Mount Everest. And finally, the final theory I picked was Theory 13. Don't compare your life with someone else's outside. And basically it was discussing how when in business, when selling your creative work, it's basically like selling your children, which is how the chimney restorer put it, because he enjoyed antiques, but he did not like selling his antiques, so he found a job that he liked selling instead. And writer Hugh MacLeod even mentioned that he'd never sell his business card drawings because he cared too much about them. So when deciding how to make a living, be sure it's not something you're too attached to, or else you might never forgive yourself for something.